This is a tutorial on how to do fonts in Microsoft Word. As you can see up here, I've already saved my document for an assignment that would be something called fonts and lists. So let's just make a quick list again of, top 3 favorite things. Video editing, space in there, reading, space in there, playing with my dog. So I got a list. It works fine, but it doesn't look very entertaining. Sometimes when you have a more creative document, you might want to kind of work on changing the font around. It can make it look a bit, bigger, it can be brighter, it can be different colors. And there's lots of different things you can do with fonts. And they all happen, again, usually in the Home tab around this area. You have things, for example, like the name of the font, Times New Roman. So I can do a new name. I can click and I can choose something else. So like Cooper Black, if I want it kind of big and bold. Or Bitwise, if I want to make it kind of look like a computer. Or if I want to basically make everyone mad, I can do Comic Sans. Because if you do that on the internet, people will make fun of you. Right? There's also a different one that you can do, which is called Wingdings. And notice how I'm typing up here? That's another way you can search for a font. And that will turn it into like symbols, things like that. So there's many different types of fonts that you can do. When you're doing a assignment for class, your teacher might say, I want you to do it in a certain font. Times New Roman is a very common one, as is Calibri. But for a more creative document, you get to choose the font. Other things you can do with it are, if I select it, I can basically make something bold, which is kind of like, again, bigger and darker. Italics, which kind of makes it a bit kind of fainter and kind of tips it a little bit to the right. And underline, which underlines it. I can also cross it out. I can make it kind of smaller that way, but don't make it smaller using these. These are for very specific things. If you want to change the size, do it right here. And again, you can click and you can change it like that. Now, again, notice how I was clicking and selecting it. That's how you can do it one way. You can click and drag. On the other hand, you can also double click to select a word, or you can triple click to select like a line or a paragraph. You'll also notice that a lot of the font stuff is also here as well, so you can do the same thing here. If I make another list, see how the font and the size is still the same as this one? So when you make a change, it will basically always be the rest of what you're typing until you change it again. So let's say I change it to, 48, much bigger. See how this 4 is still the same? It's because I didn't change anything by selecting it. But if I type, see how it's bigger? So you want to kind of be aware of that, of if you change it without selecting anything, you're basically saying, this is how it's going to be from now on. But if you select something, again, double click it, triple click it, click and drag, or a keyboard shortcut if you want to select everything, Control A, like that. That's how you can basically then change it. So let's say I want to change this. I want to make this one bold. I want to make this one italicized. I want to make this one even bigger. I can do things like that. Other things you can do are color things. Like I can select my Wingdings and I can say, let's highlight this green. So this one basically makes kind of a box around the text. This one, I'm going to turn blue. So this one basically makes the color of the words actually change. And then this one, I can basically kind of click and I can do kind of some styles. I can outline it. I can make it glow. So let's have like a yellow glow around it. This one, I'm going to do like a shadow to it. I'm gonna have like a black shadow. And it's not exactly gonna work because it's kind of a weird one, but let's do a reflection. I can have the letters reflect off of each other. And this one, let's do, what's something crazy? Yeah, we can do like a, let's say a orange outline or something like that. Again, there's lots of different things you can do. If you mess up and you want to kind of bring it back to the default, what you can do is you can basically click right here and you'll clear the formatting. and now it's back to mostly normal. Except for the highlight. If I want to change that, I just click here and change it back to no color. So those are the various things that you can do with font with Microsoft Word. Experiment with it, try out some different combinations, but that's how you can make your Word document look a little bit more exciting when the time calls for it. Not all assignments you want to do that. Oftentimes you want to be professional, but with a creative document, go ahead and do what you want.